Okay, welcome to today's live stream of the podcast, The Colours of Womanhood. Welcome to everyone listening live. Welcome to the people listening on the replay. Today I'm speaking with Elizabeth Large, also known as Tacita. We had a conversation already quite a long time ago, but it's every time what she says, it just remains really relevant. She's the founder of Somatic Spirituality and a fantastic Kundalini teacher with huge intelligence and wisdom. She sailed the Caribbean and back to Europe. She shaped her nervous system with Kundalini and she chooses rest over income. And those are the topics that we're going to highlight today a little bit. So, welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, in our conversation, we didn't touch so much upon you having a cross-cultural life as well. So, I just want to kind of dive a little bit into that, and particularly how you went sailing to the Caribbean, but over time of 3.5 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It was what you call a circumnavigation. So it was from, I got on the boat in the Caribbean, and then from the Caribbean, we went literally around the rest of the world back to Europe. So through Polynesia, the Indian Ocean. Yeah. I've only missed out the North Atlantic. So that's the bit I need to go back to be able to say I've done a full circumnavigation.
Okay, sounds good. And what was your drive, or what led you to go into sailing? And were you the only woman on the sailboat? How has that been for you in your whole development as a woman?
I would say I got into sailing where I am living now. I live on a Greek island, and I got into sailing here, and it was just through friends going out on their sailing boats and getting a taste for it. It's like you're just immersed in nature. And you can go to places where there's hardly anyone else, but you're at the mercy of nature, but you're also working with her. So it's that sort of getting into that, it's like the ultimate flow state. And it's really meditative as well. Sometimes when you're doing very long crossings, I mean, it can be, the longest one I've done is 3 weeks. You don't see any land, you don't stop. So it becomes quite meditative. And often you're sharing the sailing with the crew, the people who are the skipper and the crew. So you have like 3-hour shifts. So you really don't see people because people are just handing over their shifts. So it becomes quite meditative and you're just immersed. It's like you're just immersed in water and light and sky and weather.
But that you mentioned it as meditative, but I can imagine it's not necessarily for everyone meditative. I think it comes from your practices as well, or not?
I guess so. I guess if I think a lot of people who do sail, especially who do circumnavigations, they do tend to sort of, even if they don't have a meditation practice per se, there's still something that connection to nature in itself is extremely spiritual. So even if someone doesn't have a yogic practice, say, or even talks about meditation, they're sort of doing it without realizing.
Yeah. But don't you think it would isn't it the same, let's say, if you were to go to, for instance, a 10 days meditation and you've never really done that, how the first few days are the most difficult and then afterwards
Yeah. So sometimes when you don't have much human connection, there's some points when you're sailing, when you've been at sea for a long time, you start to lose concept of time, and even you start to hear things. And it is a strange, altered state for sure. And then when you get back on the land, you're land sick. So the land moves. Instead, I don't get seasick. But when you come back onto the land is moving because you're so used to moving on the boat. When you come onto the land, which is maybe moving, but much, much slower, you just lose all orientation. It's a little bit like you just don't quite know.
And what do you feel? What has it done with you? Like afterwards, after those 3.5 years, when you were back, how did you how did you continue life?
It's actually been quite difficult, I would say. It alters. I mean, I didn't watch any TV. You're not really listening to the news. You come back and it gives you an altered perception on everyday life. where we can get sucked into the mundane and that what's accepted as living normally, getting up at certain times and, you know, watching TV when you get in from work and all those things that just sort of drag you away from being more introspective. And of course, being immersed in nature as well. But I do live half of the year outside in my workplace. So I still manage to feel like I'm still very much in nature. It takes me a while to get used to being in a walled space and not moving. It's like you're fixed with a boat, you're moving all the time. So you can go from one place to the next, and new experiences, new people, new cultures. It's and one thing I really noticed was that even if you don't have a common language, you can still really link in. Have I lost? The internet connection? Oh, I'm going to continue. Hopefully the internet will come back on. I can join us again. So we were talking about meeting different cultures. We have a common humanity, and even if you don't have a common language, most of our desires to connect and our needs are the same: to be loved, to have food, to have community and shelter. And all of that doesn't really need a common language. And I've also lived in other countries as well, as not just sailing to different places. So I've lived in Sicily as well. I've had a common language, but not had such a depth of understanding of the language. Hey, you're back.
Yes, yeah. Thank you that you continued. I don't know what happened.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Just continue.
No sound from you.
Yes. Okay, just continue. I don't know.
Oh, we've lost our sound.
No, I can hear you. Check your phone.
I still can't hear you.
Can you see your phone, your message? Read. Can you hear me now?
Nope, still can't hear you.
I don't know what it is. I'll read to you.
Ah, okay. Sorry, I just saw the message there. So it's not necessarily rest over income. And although at some points when I've chosen rest, it has meant that I've chosen also to earn less. But I've noticed that you can also work less and earn more, or earn the same. So it's not necessarily about making that choice between choosing self-care and rest and lowering your income. I just want to make that clear. You can also rest more and earn more. It's an option. But yes, I have at certain points in my life, it's about valuing, what do you value? And sometimes for me, like being a stay-at-home mom meant I earned a lot less. but the value to my life was being with my children. And at other points, it's maybe your values and your integrity are challenged, and do you make that choice to continue earning or choose to lose your earning to stay in integrity? So I'll choose the integrity and eat beans on toast for 3 months or a year if I have to. But I've also learned that I can stay in full integrity, take care of myself, rest a lot, and earn a hell of a lot more. And the sailing links into that, because I was set up my business in London and I was working a lot and earning a lot as a body worker. And I thought, well, I'm just spending more. I'm working more and spending more. So I took stock of my life and decided to take 3 months off a year and work for 9 months. And it didn't really impact my income, but I took 3 months of the year off. And then I got heavily into sailing. And then one day I didn't go back to work. I went on a circumnavigation. And of course, I wasn't earning then at all. But I had savings, and you eat what you catch, and life goes on. So I've had periods of not earning very much at all, even to the point of almost being homeless without the support of family. And then moments when I'm earning more than enough. And I think it's really interesting that you can come into full integrity as much as possible and shape the life that you want and make the choices that match your integrity and alignment. I think finding out what your values are. But of course, then you have to take into consideration different points of your life, and say if you have people you're responsible for, like children or partners or parents even, sometimes that does limit our choices. You're making a choice as a unit rather than just yourself. So at the moment, I'm in my 60s, my children are grown up, and I can think a little bit more for myself. So
Can you hear me again?
let's see if there's any more comments.
Yes.
So just to let you know that the whole podcast of a longer conversation that me and Kaya had together is now available up and live. And I hope you enjoyed this chat. And I'm really sorry, because we have great conversations. So it's a real shame that I can't hear you. And thank you so much for inviting me on. And I look forward to continuing our conversations together.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks a lot.